Okay, in the interview, for the Hardline magazine and YouTube channel, Steve Lips Kudlow, guitar player and singer for Anvil, because of the release of the new album, Impact is Imminent. So it's a very interesting, title of the album. It's a very, how did you come to this title? Does it refer
Well,
on the current times?
we first thought of the image of an Anvil asteroid, and we thought what would be a good title that would go with that. So
Yeah.
that we thought of the picture before we thought of the title.
Yeah.
So it also fits in with the impact of the band. You know what I mean? The impact of the band on the world. I mean, all of our titles are self-related to the band as well as the music and stuff. So everything must fit for it all to work. The times that we're going through, obviously, the impact of the pandemic, obviously, right, has a huge impact. And yes, it's imminent. There's a lot of, especially during the writing, a lot of people, even during the writing, we're saying COVID is not true. That no one is dying, and it's a big lie. You know, you think about all the conspiracy theories that came with this. It's like, wow.
And there's one song that it's called, as you said, Lockdown. So it's full of wrath, hate, lockdown. So you were pushing away all your frustration with this song about the lockdown, I guess.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And things that I noticed about the world as a result of it. Okay, like that's why I wrote Someone to Hate. Like, everybody's looking for somebody to blame, someone to hate, someone to say that they're the bad guy. It's like, it's all around us all the time. It's like, wow, okay.
The opening track is called Take a Lesson. I guess Dave Grohl is giving the introduction. So what kind of lessons do you want to teach? What's behind it?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, I saw it, of course.
Well, I think, what kind of lesson did you learn?
All right, yeah.
Well, that's the lesson. My life is a lesson to the music industry. This is the shit that goes on most of the time. Not just sometimes, most of the time. That's why most and almost no one makes it.
Yeah, of course.
That's why 1 in a million bands make it, because they got through all that shit.
I understand.
That's why.
That's my consideration.
So is it a lesson? It's also ripping and tearing at the people who said you can't do it, and you never do it, and you suck. It's all that stuff. It's letting the frustration out on the world that on the negativity this world has to offer.
Yeah, but you have done. So you were successful now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes, I was successful. And boy, when you get successful, do you find out how many jealous, envious pieces of shit there are in this world that they want to take something away so that it makes them feel better.
I understand. Right?
Right? Let me call Lips a fucking loser. Am I a loser? Am I stupid? Like, what is this? What the fuck? It's usually self-projection. Like, insults are usually self-projection of the person insulting you.
I understand. It's a psychological.
Yeah.
You put your own problems into other person and try to distract from yourself.
That's right.
So, and there are two, instrumentals, Teabag and Gomez has got a very interesting big band influence. So what style stands behind these two instrumentals and how do they relate to the other songs?
This is, you're going to find this really fascinating. The titles, the titles are both Sasha Gervasi's nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who made the movie, these are the nicknames that he had. Originally, when we first met him, when he was 15 years old, we called him Teabag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because he's British, right?
Yeah.
And the British, you relate them to tea, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's tea time, right? So we called him Teabag. But after the release of the movie, he was ecstatic. He was over the moon with it. Okay. And so excited and proud and exhilarated by it all. He went into this rant. He starts talking and he goes, I've got the best train set on the block and all the kids are coming to my house to see it. So we started laughing and going, hey, you sound like Gomez Adams from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
So we started calling him Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez.
Okay, so now that's where the titles came from. Now, what happened was originally we were only going to use Teabag. That was the idea.
Yeah.
And we made the choice, we're going to just do Teabag, right? And our choice was, what are we going to call the song, Teabag or Gomez? But we decided on Teabag.
Yeah.
And then, but as it worked out, after we recorded it and it was all done, the producer Martin, he is flipping out. He's going, we got to put a horn section in this song. We have to. And I'm going, yeah, but that would be repeating ourselves. We did that on Juggernaut of Justice. I don't really want to do it twice.
Yeah.
He goes, well, let's try it. So he comes back to me and he goes, okay, he was in the military and he played drums for the military orchestra. So he asked all the horn players to help.
Mm-hmm.
So he came to me and he goes, look, if you don't like it, we don't use it and you don't have to pay for it. So what do you think?
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
I'm going, okay, well, I got nothing to lose. Let's hear it. Sure. What the hell, right? Because I mean, this is work for somebody to take he must have believed in his heart for sure. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Right. He must have. And he was right. He was really right. Because what happened was when I heard Gomez with all the horns on it, I went, that is unbelievable. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to use both songs because they are so different.
Yeah.
That you almost think they're two different songs, but the real truth is they're the same song with two different names.
Yeah. And I didn't notice that as well. I thought these are different. Yeah, it's good to hear. And
yeah. So what we did, they're actually identical.
Yeah.
Everything is identical. The only thing that is different is that there's a horn section added to the music.
Yes.
But it has such an incredible impact. There's that word. It has such an incredible impact hearing it differently.
Yeah.
But to the point where you didn't even notice that it's the same song.
No, I didn't notice. So good to hear. Good.
Yeah, so I mean, these are really interesting recording things and just stuff with songwriting, the things that you can do just by a different approach with the same piece of music. It's actually quite phenomenal. So that was very successful on that level and is remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Quite remarkable.
And if you see your first albums, the classical albums, Metal on Metal or Forged in Fire, these were milestones in the speed metal of the 80s. Do you see a musical progress from these classic Anvil albums to impact Is Imminent? So composing wise, writing wise, or recording wise? How would you see it?
You know, it's interesting, and this is the best way to explain it. The first three albums had no fucking clue what I was doing. Okay, you don't really know what you're doing. You don't even know what your identity is.
Yeah,
you don't even know what your band is supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
Right? You have no clue. And because you're so young and so inexperienced, you really don't know how to write music either. Because it's all your first composing. You're just learning how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're just kind of walking in the dark, you know what I mean? and sometimes, in most cases, you don't get any magic. In the case with Anvil, we did, but we persevered 2 or 3 years in the clubs with the material of Metal on Metal and Hard and Heavy for a number of years before we recorded. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of time to adjust, to fix, and get it right. You know, to actually get it right. And it's interesting because what the difference is to now, I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly how to get there. So I want a song like this, and I create a song like this.
That's right? Good. So
it's not like, from the I don't know what I'm going to create something. I don't know what or where I'm going or what kind of tempo, what kind of key, what. You know, like I've gotten to the point where I can say I need a key, I need a song in the key of G, and it has to be a high tempo. So I put the parameters on it. I sit down in this room with my fucking trusty axe and create music. Create all the music. Bring the basic fundamental bed track. Okay, it's what the song essentially is, and everybody and the other guys just play to in and around my part, and that's really what it's always been and always will be, because that's how music works. You know, I somebody has to be able to play the song top to bottom without accompaniment. Right?
I understand.
Yeah. And that's what I do. I play the song without accompaniment, and I bring that to rehearsal, play it to the guys, and the song is put together in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Great. And in former times you have worked with Chris Tsangarides or Tsangarides. You know, the guy who was shown in the movie as well, the producer, but now these are Martin Pfeiffer and Jörg Uken from Germany. So how important are they for your work? Because you worked two albums now.
No, absolutely. Their work is absolutely astonishing.
Yeah.
I mean, Jörg is, and I start with that because on a technical level, he's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
like phenomenal. Okay, I've never seen anybody work like that ever. I mean, it's blinding. Okay, the thing is, you have to understand, he works with a different band every week at the most, and every day. So when he is on the computer and you're going, what the fuck's he doing? And then all of a sudden the thing comes up and it's, fuck, listen to that. You go, wow, it's unbelievable. And with today's technology, you need this. Really important. And I could explain it very simply. In the movie, you see us working with Chris Tsangarides.
Yeah.
For the most part, that was analog recorded.
I understand.
Okay. And in other words, everything is done the hard way. Everything is done the hard way. There is no Pro Tools. There is no fixing that guitar solo. There's no vocal adjustments. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's all real. Everything is fucking real because, and it takes way longer. Of course. And it's way harder to do.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, so what has happened is what I was used to, such complexities and such a huge amount of work. Okay, when I used to go in and do albums, and now it's like, okay, that you go in and it's so much more relaxed, and you get a perfect take of, let's say, your chorus lines. You get all the harmonies, and everything is perfect. Why are you singing it all over again?
Yeah, of course. If it's technology that helps you, it's good.
Well, the old way, that's what you did. Like, if we talk about the song Free as the Wind, okay, there was something like 18 tracks of vocals.
18 tracks.
Okay. And I had to sing every one of them.
Oh,
They're not cut and pasted. They're sung. Okay. Meticulously and perfectly, so that when the listener hears it, he doesn't hear that there's 18 people singing.
yeah.
Okay. And there's a magic to that, and a way to produce and direct a recording to be able to do that. And yes, Chris Tangarides was awesome for that day and age. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But today we need someone up
to date. Yeah, new technology.
It really is, because in order, I mean, he's, no matter what, an older guy like that is never going to be able to be as good as Jorg is.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't be. It just okay. It's an art in itself to run computers and to work with Pro Tools and everything that it is to do that. That's a serious art. You really got to know. You got to know how far you can push parameters. It's a very delicate, intricate job. That's the best way to describe it. And then you've got Martin, who is awesome with bringing the correct character to the vocals.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a matter of you sang it correctly, Lips. I want to hear more growl. Let me hear growl.
So, but he said,
sing it smoother here.
Yeah, but he is a German. Can a German teach you to sing in English? Is it harder for you because they are German producers?
Oh no, they both speak great English.
Yeah. Because
otherwise we would be fucked.
Yeah, otherwise because of phrasing and all these stuff. Because
but that's the thing. Especially with the vocals, he's very, because he's a drummer. He's amazing with the phrasing of the lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
Right, that makes sense, right? How many beats? How many syllables? It's the same. It's how we're going to do a drum roll in this part. Okay, we're going to put a vocal in this part. It takes up this much space in the music on this many beats. This is what it's got to be. Now, being German, that means it must be exact.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Do you
which is a great balance, because I tend to be relaxed on things, and I move. I tend to move within the music, and that's sometimes it sounds like, oh, you're singing out of time, man. That's
Hmm.
not, I want it percussive. I want it,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, okay. And there's a compromise
Hmm.
because I'm so relaxed and he's so tight that we get in a good place where there's the right amount of fluctuation where it going, I like that. That's sounds like it really meant it. Like it took a breath there, that, you know, and we'll make the decision together, you know,
Hmm.
and that those are important. The vocals are the loudest thing in the mix.
Okay.
They're the name of the fucking song.
Yeah.
You better do it right.
And and you had a second guitar player on your side until 2007, and now you're the only guitar player. Did it influence your music and your live performances as
No,
well?
because no, actually, what you know that I don't. All the stuff with the second guitar, it's so. This is really the rule of all. If you're not going to add double lead guitar and
Uh-huh.
harmonies, if you're not going to do that, you don't need a
Ah,
second guitar.
yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, you don't even need it. It's
Okay.
redundant. It's a
Hmm.
waste of money and time.
Okay. And yeah, I saw your
And
movie.
it's not just financially, it's a burden mentally.
Hmm.
Mentally, it's a burden. And I can
I
explain that too. You know, during the recording of This Is 13, Ivan didn't play virtually a note on that whole album. Okay, it's just ridiculous. It came down to it. I think he did two solos and a couple of fills. It took him almost a week.
But on the 13th album, who didn't play a note?
Ivan, the second guitar player.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, he didn't play a note.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
understand. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
here we paid. I'm just explaining how it,
Yeah.
and then not on top of all that, and it began even before it all began before because he came in to the completely unrehearsed. He didn't come to rehearsal to learn the
Yeah.
fucking songs.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
It can become a burden, is what I'm explaining. And what it turned into is by the time the album was coming out, we made the decision we're moving on,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we dropped him from the band like it wasn't even there. If you look at the crediting on the record, it gives the credits where he played lead guitar, but that's all,
Yeah.
because that's all he did.
Understand. Yeah.
Okay, now
And
that's just the case with Ivan. But like I say, if you're not going to specifically use dual guitars like Thin Lizzy, like
yeah.
Judas Priest, like Accept, I mean, there are two guitar player bands that are authentically two guitar player bands, right? That makes sense.
Hmm.
We had a rhythm guitar player, and that was a completely different thing. And in
Hmm.
the original lineup, the rhythm guitar player sang the backup vocals,
Hmm.
right? And his voice was extremely conducive with mine. And not only that, but he did play on many of the songs and
Hmm.
was able to play on many of the songs because he actually wrote composite rhythm tracks.
Hmm.
Now, in doing that, okay, at the end of the day, it's not completely a necessity because I do it anyway.
Hmm.
It's like I said, the song is the main track that I play.
Of course, I understand.
So the accompaniment is just accompaniment. It's not the songwriting, and it's not the whole shape of the song. So ultimately, it's not that much difference with or without.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, what happens, especially these days, I play my original top to bottom, and then I play, but I do that twice.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is it gives complete balance in the right and left of the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dead fucking tight. It sounds like one guy. You can tell it's one guy, but it's dead fucking tight, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
one wrist, one chug, you do it exactly the same.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
guys, not so much.
Okay, that's good.
So,
Yeah. And yeah, so it's your movie. I saw it lately again, Anvil, the story of Anvil. So it was shown that you had other jobs to maintain your musical career, that you didn't get your musician's fee. There was a badly organized tour, and it was hard to find interest from record companies. So how is it 16 years later? Did
well,
the
actually,
situation improve? Are you now, is it better now, or how would you see it?
well, I mean, I think that the I think it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be putting out your 19th record, right?
Yeah.
We're a few albums past that. If the band had no credibility, it would have ended after the movie, right?
Yeah.
But actually, no. Instead, it just,
Yeah.
and people talk about, hey man, the old days when you were big. Hey, I hate to tell you this, we are way bigger today.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You can't compare Anvil in 1982 and what we were selling, what we were, and how much we played and where we played. It was micro small in comparison. In comparison to today.
Mm-hmm.
We have not stopped touring until the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right to the edge of it.
I know. Yeah.
Right. So, what I'm saying is, from the time that movie came out, we did not stop working and writing and putting out records. And what can I say? I have not done a food delivery in 15 years.
Fantastic. That's good. But these poor school people, school children, it's sad a little bit. Oh. Yeah, okay. And will there be a second part of the movie, Anvil, the success story of Anvil? This would be.
I don't. I at this point, I don't think so. Right.
Mhm.
But on the other side of it, I think that if and probably depending on life expectancy, it would have to be related to someone dying, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they'll do an epilogue after I'm gone, right?
Okay.
That would make more sense than to do it now. You might as well do it when I'm gone. And in fact, I just saw Ronnie James Dio's documentary. Excellent, excellent, really good. It's got my thumbs up. You know it.
Yes, and it was shown that you and Rob, you are very close friends for decades since your childhood. You are the founders and songwriters of Anvil. So how hard is it for your bass player not to be the odd one out?
Well, we got really lucky at the end of the day. And there was it was a hard road to get there. Okay. Mm-hmm. To get back where we needed to get to. And I can explain that very simply. We needed a really good bass player whose voice can be that we had, similar to Dave Allison from the first rendition of what Anvil is, so that when we sing live and record, it will sound like the original Anvil. Mm-hmm. We got really lucky, and that's what I'm saying. Voice is, you can have somebody sing, but it's not the right sound, right? Mm-hmm. It's an instrument. It's not just as simple as, you take vocals. you know, we had our ex bass player Glenn sang, but it certainly doesn't sound. He sounded absolutely nothing like Chris, and the difference is astronomical. And in my opinion, at this point, and because I can see it in a you know, hindsight's always 2020. We haven't had good vocals until now. Until now, in my opinion, especially live, you can't compare it. Can't compare it. Okay, so but where do you? I mean, to chance upon a really, really, really good bass player who can sing, who can sing conducively with me. Right. That's a hard order to fill. And then on top of that, be the kind of person that can get along with Robin.
Yeah, of course.
That's an art in itself.
But the chemistry in the band is good. There's a good interhuman relationship, or are there any?
Oh, absolutely. And
because in the movie there was you had an argument with Rob. There was a strife in the studio. He is fired, and all the stuff you mentioned. But it was more for the moment. It's a good chemistry.
You know what's really interesting is Glenn was sitting. If you watch that whole segment again, Glenn was sitting in the room when Rob and I started having the confrontation, and you see him get up and leave. That's no help.
No.
That's no help. Obviously, that's no help. I don't know I don't know how else, but it's just an observation of human, you know, the way that people carry themselves and the way that they carry on. It says a lot. It says a lot, you know. He you know, Chris wouldn't do that.
Okay.
He would have intervened and say, "Look, guys, you talk it
out." That's a good attitude to be.
Calm down, man. Come on, let's smoke a joint, man. Relax.
Mediator, I understand.
And quite honestly, 9 out of 10 times, Chris diffuses all kinds of things, and we get along very well. I don't think that. I mean, the personable level is non-issue. It's silly things that it's silly things that bother you, but you got to learn to live with it.
Yeah, of course.
What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Hey, Chris rolls cigarettes, right, and joints. Okay, he tries to conserve as much as possible. So when he finishes one of his joints, it's in a little roach, right? When he gets to the hotel room, he's got about a dozen of these things, and he empties them out all onto the table.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now the whole room is stinking like fucking burnt. You know what I mean? And you're going, oh man, you know what I mean? It's stupid things like that. Right?
Yeah, okay, that's not so good. And when will the tour start soon? So when will we see Anvil on tour in Germany again? Are there any plans right now?
Well, I know that in October, most of October, if not all of October, we're in the UK, and then we begin playing in all through Europe. And I'm more than certain that there's at least a half a dozen shows in Germany. So
fantastic, yeah, good. That would be good, and that would be interesting. And in the movie, it was Lars Ulrich was interviewed, and he mentioned, is it a Canadian thing? How would you see, you are Canadians, if you see the Canadian music scene compared to the music scene of the USA? Was it harder for you to get success because you're coming from Canada, or isn't there any difference?
It's next to impossible. Still is.
It's harder for the
Still
Canadian
is.
band. Yeah.
Still is. I mean, yeah, we play the States. Yeah, but it's really hard, very, very difficult market.
Hmm.
And it's, there's 50 countries down there.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And and all the people between you and the fans,
Hmm.
to get a record out there. It's like a spider web of people that have to be all involved to do the process of releasing your record. Yes, it's like that. It's like that in Europe as well, but not to the extent that it is in the USA. No way.
Okay.
I've never. The bureaucracy is beyond comprehension. They got 10 people doing one person's job. That kind of shit. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah.
So and getting anything done is like pulling teeth. Getting people motivated is next to impossible. You got it. Money. It's all about money. It's very, very, very difficult to make it there because it's so big.
Understand.
I don't think people understand and what I mean by big populations.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get to big populations, you need huge a huge promotion campaign.
Mm-hmm. Understand. Yeah.
And you need people in virtually in every major city working the album.
Understand.
Not one guy, because a major city has got fucking some of the population that an entire country has.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, understand.
So he's got to talk to 200 radio stations, and it just goes on and on and on and on. It's huge. So the whole thing multiplies, and that's what makes it so difficult. So how do you get known there?
Okay.
Talk, right place at the right time. There you go.
I've got just a standard Zoom account, so this is finished soon because the time is running out, 45 minutes just. So we could talk an hour later again and again, maybe other time, because the time is running out now. So thank you for this.
But you know what?